It's week one. We had a slap, a spit, and the greatest game of the season already. Monday Night Football is back, and I'm going to be giving you my analysis and game picks, so stay tuned. It's time to spread them.
The money keep calling my name. Dollar signs make you sing.
We have Mike Sherrard joining us. You may know him from the San Francisco 49ers. He won the Super Bowl, but he was a first-round draft pick by the Cowboys. Now, you had some injuries with the Cowboys, and you ended up going back to the 49ers. This is an incredible story. Ironically enough, the Dallas Cowboys traded up with the 49ers in a pick to get you, and then you end up going to the 49ers, winning a Super Bowl in 1989, by the way, which for everyone out there is the year Taylor Swift was born. So, the league has... I'm not throwing it out there because I just had my birthday and I'm old too. So I'm like, yes. But I love to give this reference because the league has changed, right,
Yes.
over the years. Tell me, what is the biggest change since when you were playing and to now? What do you find? Because it seems worlds different to me.
Yeah, I think what the league is doing, they do a great job of trying to take some of the violence out of the game of football. And it's going to be a physical game. It's a collision sport. But I think, defenseless receiver was not a term when I was there. The way they protect the quarterback was not really there when I played. But I think it's better for the game. I mean, the fans, they want to see the stars play. And so to protect the players as much as possible in such a physical game is a positive thing.
I like what you said there about also protecting the players, but ironically enough, I don't think that I want to talk about the slap, especially since Travis Kelce, he gets first game, open hand, slap to the face, and it's only a 15-yard penalty. Now, apparently, if you spit water down to the ground, it is a ejection and probably a very big fine. So is spit and a slap, like, to you the same penalty punishment, or is a slap not as bad? To me, I know it was the middle of a game, but I think that's unacceptable. You never you do put your hands on a man because the whole game is putting your hands on players. But no, you can't do that in my world.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw it again this morning to kind of review it. To me, I do not condone slapping, but to me, it wasn't that bad. To me personally, it wasn't that bad. In a physical game, you get heated and people, big men, are pushing each other and shoving, which is legal. Obviously, I do not condone the slap of T.R. Tart, what he did to Travis Kelce. And so I understand that in the heat of the moment, things happen. The tricky part for the NFL is kids watch it. And so kids in high school and younger and even college watch the NFL. They think that it's okay to do that. Then maybe they'll do it as well, which they should not. But to me, it's a physical game. Guys get mad and you lose some focus for a minute and do something you shouldn't do. Again, I don't condone it, but to me, it wasn't that bad.
When you were playing, was that allowed, the open hand hit, as long as it wasn't a closed hand hit, that was allowed? And how often was that happening without it getting caught?
Oh, it was legal. So you could, especially defensive linemen, could head slap the offensive lineman. Receivers got hit in the head all the time. So, again, I think it's good to take it out of the game, and it shouldn't happen. Mm-hmm. But in the heat of the moment, I can understand guys getting physical and then taking it too far. You took it too far. But I think a 15-yard penalty.
Have you been slapped?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been slapped?
Yeah, slapped.
Who slapped you?
Oh, a couple people, more than one.
Let me at them. Hold my hoops. Hold my hoops.
A couple. I've got hit in the head with an elbow. And so it's football. Like, again, they're taking some of the violence out of it, which is great. People want to see the stars play. Mm-hmm. But it's a physical game. And it's part of it, what you sign up for when you play football. But you don't want to get slapped in the head, but it happens.
Speaking of slapped in the head, actually talking about trolling and fans getting involved, did you see what happened to Lamar Jackson and DeAndre Hopkins, how they were both getting slapped by the fan who was leaning over and hitting them in the head? I think that the league needs to have a little bit more strict rules on not touching players, because what I think Lamar Jackson did was actually not that bad. I would have done the same thing too. If a teammate got hit in the head and then I got hit in the head, I would immediately push back. I don't think he actually did anything that wrong. So I hope the league doesn't fine him or do anything for that because I think he was just protecting a player. But with Aaron Rodgers, I thought that was a little saucy, him trolling the Jets fans a little bit after that win. I mean, let's be real. It was a very close game, and I actually, on my own, took the Jets. I didn't put it in my final pick for my locks last week, but I kind of wanted to believe that the Jets could beat Aaron Rodgers, but he did actually have a pretty good game. Did you watch that one?
I saw the highlights. Aaron Rodgers had a great game. I mean, people were saying he's too old, and it comes into play when you play against your former team. So he was at the Jets for just a couple years. Right. The first year, he got hurt after 4 plays, but he played all last season. And then they wanted to move in a different direction. I mean, that's the team's prerogative. They wanted a younger quarterback. And so emotions go into it again where Aaron Rodgers' standpoint is like, these guys didn't want me, so I'm going to show them that I'm good. They made a bad decision.
So he had 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. Do we believe that he is back, baby, or do we believe it was payback, baby? What do you think?
It's a long season, so it was a great start for Aaron Rodgers, but you just never know in terms of time, and obviously he's not getting any younger, but maybe it's a great system for him. I don't know. The Steelers have needed someone like him with his swag and what he can do if he's the primetime player like he showed yesterday, but it's a long season. You never know what's going to happen.
It's true. And week 1 just had the weirdest. It's everything that happens. I mean, I love week 1 because it's a free-for-all. You don't know what's going to happen. It's the wild, wild west of football, basically. Everyone's coming back. And, let's talk about his old team, which was the Packers. They played the Lions. I took the Lions. They got destroyed by the Packers. It kind of made me sad. But, Micah Parsons, how did you think the impact was with him playing now for the Green Bay Packers?
It was great. And to me, I like the stories of the NFL. And like you said, week 1 is awesome because everyone's healthy. So all the quarterbacks are there. Every player is playing. And Micah he's not in, game shape at this point. He will be because he didn't really practice with the Cowboys. But to see him and his flair, and he got a sack, and he only played a limited package, but the impact he had on such a limited time was awesome to see. It was fun.
Well, it's funny you talked about injuries. I mean, you yourself had suffered some injuries as one does when you play this rough sport. I'm telling you, if I ever have a little boy, I don't know that I'm going to let him play football. I just might be like Tiger Woods' dad and just glue a golf club to his hand and say, you're playing tennis and you're playing golf. Because, I mean, now look at, they were originally talking about Christian McCaffrey having, his injuries, and everyone was worried about that. But then Kittle goes out after scoring a touchdown for the 49ers. He goes out almost immediately. Now they're going to look into his injury. And, there was a lot of muscles that were being used from a lot of athletes, and we saw a lot of injuries already so far.
Yeah, well, football is a game where everyone is going to get hurt. And so it's just a matter of degree of your injury. So week 1, you're somewhat healthy because a lot of the starters don't play preseason games. But you get into week 3, 4, 5, the rest of the season, everyone is hurt. So fans that watch the game, like, oh, he should have made that catch, he should have done this and that. He's hurt. So injuries that guys play through, especially NFL, because there's one game a week. And NFL guys kind of laugh and joke at baseball players and basketball players. And I have a sprained pinky, I need a week off. Guys in football are gladiators, and they'll play through injuries. And you get to respect your teammates by going through it. And so it's a rough game, and everyone's going to get hurt. It's just a matter of what degree you get hurt and if you can play through it or not.
Yeah, it's crazy because all these injuries, and then it's almost immediately with some of these players, and then there goes, for me, like my fantasy football team. Right. So, especially wide receivers and running backs especially too. So it's always a problem. But now you played with the New York Giants for 3 years. Yeah. What is your take? Is there a Giants curse, like a New York City curse between the Giants and the Jets? Because, Daniel Jones, I used to call him Danny not worth a nickel, but, Danny, because everyone called him Danny Dimes. Right. But he comes out looking like a stud this week, and Aaron Rodgers wins for the Steelers. So what happens? You know, is it really that? Do you feel like the teams in New York, it's just like a curse, or is it just mainly maybe just bad, coaching, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's just a cycle. I mean, the Giants at least have won. I mean, the Jets won a Super Bowl back when Joe Namath back 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
The Giants are in a rut, and I'm a Giant, and I hope the team does well, but they've been bad for at least the last decade. But sometimes quarterbacks need to change the scenery. Danny Dimes, as they call him, he didn't play great for the Giants, but maybe the change of scenery and this kind of boosted him. Like, you better play great for the Colts,
more weapons,
or your career's done. And so he stepped up. I give him a lot of credit. And Aaron Rodgers has been on a few different teams, and he's a professional on the field. Like, he knows what he's doing. And again, we'll see how long it lasts. And I don't cheer against any player. And he's actually Aaron Rodgers from my hometown of Chico. So I hope he does well. And he did last night.
Do you think Russell Wilson is done? Like, what are your thoughts on Russell Wilson? I mean, he had he only completed just 17 of 37 attempts, and he for 168 yards, 2 sacks. I mean, I don't know.
He's had a great career as just a fan, not knowing what the coaches see in practice. I'd love to see Jackson Dart go in there. He was so exciting at Ole Miss. He's got a strong arm, a young guy with energy. I'd love to see him play, but the coaches know better than me. I'm a fan. I'm just watching. I don't watch practice, and I don't know what they're asked to do. But I'd love to see Jackson Dart go in there and do his thing.
Yeah, it's funny. The headlines in New York right now says, is Russell done already? And I think the fans really didn't like how Russell took to the interview in the postgame. He didn't really take responsibility for the loss. He kind of blew it off. And New York City, we want somebody who's going to take responsibility. Oh my gosh. I mean, I live here, but I am an Eagles fan from Philadelphia. But, as a New Yorker, I want to actually watch the New York teams do well. And I think he needs to step it up and be that leader. And I don't see him having that leadership role right now with them. So I would like to see Jackson Dart. I think he might even start week 2. We'll see. If not, Russell will be the lead starter. And then I bet you by halftime, if he's not doing well, Jackson Dart's going in. And I'm curious to see how he's going to perform.
Yeah, and I will say about New York fans, we'll say East Coast fans, if you take responsibility for what you should have done, whether it's really your fault or not, then they appreciate you. But if you go in there and say it's someone else's fault or whatever, make excuses, the fans will turn against you in a second, as they should. And so Russell will learn, because the boo birds will come out quick if you lose a couple games and you take no responsibility. No, especially the East Coast. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah, you played for the Giants, so you must have had to deal with that quite often, right? The crazy fans.
Yeah, but to me, I love it. They're passionate. I mean, fans that'll come out. There's a lot of cities like that in the NFL where you're coming out to watch games when it's freezing temperatures and rain and whatever. But you love your team. You support them. It's impossible to get Giant season tickets, even though, like I said, they've been bad the last decade or so. But people support their team. They have passion for it. And so it's fun to see as players that people support the team you're playing on. And it's funny going against the team, especially the NFC East, where, man, fans are brutal in Washington, and obviously Philly, they're nuts, and Dallas is America's team. So
what?
They're nuts in Philly. You know it.
Oh, I'm aware. But I love all fans. I think if you are a fan of a team, be a fan of a team. And, as you said, we are all a little passionate, but it comes with the love and the territory. And, I would love to have you back on again soon, because I love your takes on this. I really appreciate it, having a past player, especially of a Giants. And I think that the Giants curse, we'll see. We'll watch the season go and see how they do.
We will see.
Love to have you back on a nice.
But Ashley, thanks for having me. Had a great time, and I'd love to come back.
I'm joined with Joe Kozlowski, our in-house Newsweek sports lead. Thank you so much for being here. You are a Chiefs fan, but what game were you watching on Sunday? Like, what was your favorite takeaway game?
Yeah, for sure. And first of all, super happy to be here, Ashley. It's great to be on with you. And I think the only thing you can say after yesterday was the Sunday night Bills Ravens, two top teams in the AFC, two top quarterbacks, two legitimate MVP candidates year in and year out. What's better than that on a week one?
I know so many people that shut off the game because it was actually with 4 minutes and 48 seconds left, there was a 99.1% chance of Baltimore winning this, and only a 1% chance, less than a 1% chance of the Bills pulling out the win. And they did it. I mean, I actually have chills. It's crazy. I mean, it is what you want in everything of a football game. It was drama. It was beautiful. Even at the end, did you catch the end when Lamar Jackson gets hit in the head by the fans and
Oh
so did
yeah.
Hopkins? Oh yeah. What did you think?
I mean, that's one of those things. I think even Lamar said it himself. You can't get involved, but you understand how it happens. And if somebody did that to you, you're fired up, you're going back and forth. You get it. Like anyone,
I
even if you haven't played sports, even if you just watch it, you get how that happens.
1,000%. Fans, they need to stay their own way. Like it's yeah. I think people get the energy gets taken into it, but I actually am not mad at anything that Lamar Jackson did. He had an incredible game. Oh my gosh. I mean, it ended up being 41-40. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, these two teams are Super Bowl contenders. This was like watching, the championship playoff to see who's going to go. And who do you think actually will stand the time? I mean, yes, this game was actually a coin flip towards the end, but I thought both teams played amazing. So we know that the Ravens are going to continue on and they're going to keep this momentum going of playing amazing. Okay, they have one loss already, going in, but they're going to win almost most of their next matches. And the Bills have a tough time. This is going to be the team to beat for them. Chiefs don't even come into play
Oh
in my
no,
mind.
forget them for
Bye,
right now.
Chiefs. Sorry to say this
Yeah.
for you, but
No, for sure. And I think if you're talking about last night, I think this is one of my favorite parts of the year because we have to figure out what's real and what's not real. And I think it just comes down to what you trust between those two teams. Do you trust that Baltimore can actually control the game consistently, run the ball, have Lamar Jackson make a play, keep the chains moving, run the ball? Do you trust that? Or do you trust that when the chips are down, Josh Allen's going to pull something out of his hat and work magic like we've seen him do however many times? And I think you've got to need a legitimate case to believe either of those. Like we said, they're two great teams, two great players, and yeah, they're both going to be there at the end of the year, no matter what we think right now. So
I'm with you. I'm actually just excited. It just made me so pumped that football is finally back. That was just, I mean, I was flipping back and forth a little bit with the U.S. Open, but, I am just amazed at how it is just. Week one was a bit crazy. I will say that. Was there any game in particular that you felt was just a total, free for all that you didn't see happening? Any wins or losses or underdogs?
free for all that I didn't see happening. Well, like you said, I think I have to talk about the Chiefs for a second, but I didn't see. I saw a game like that happening, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have to say I was surprised at just how much like last year the Chiefs looked, because we knew that was the problem all of last year, that they try to play this ball control game and just aren't perfect at it. And
Mm-hmm.
we knew you had to fix that. We knew that that's going to be the question. And then obviously Xavier Worthy on the first series, you can't predict that. But yeah, I was just surprised at how same stuff, different season we got there. And yeah, what was not a fun game to watch, especially that first quarter.
It was fun
But
for
yeah,
me.
that's fair.
No, but I will say this. I don't think that I think the Chiefs are an amazing team still. Listen, there is something to be said about having to play in a different country and the travel and what it does to your body. I do think that there's a little bit of that. I think there's a little bit of, Super Bowl hangover. I think there's a little bit of Travis getting, a little too much in his ear about everything happening. The man's just trying to be engaged and live that. I actually think it might push the Chiefs to do even better. I'm leaning towards them coming hard next week, which I'm going to save that chat for towards the end, but I want to get back to that later, but I'm nervous about next week. I am a little nervous about next week.
Hey, I think we're both going to be nervous until the first whistle, then we'll be cool for a couple hours. Then one of us will be right back to being nervous after it's over. So
the NFL has done such a good job, by the way, with scheduling the lineups. It's so dramatic. I mean, even with Aaron Rodgers going against his old team, and then they switched. It was like Freaky Friday, right? With Justin Fields having been played with the Steelers the year before. And so for me, it's kind of, they've done a really great job on this narrative. I mean, they're giving me what I've been waiting all summer for.
Oh, for sure. And even next week, the divisional matchups just keep going. No warming up into the season.
I know. And speaking of divisional matchups, thank you for that. We have to talk about Monday Night Football. It's finally here. I mean, I have not had anything to watch for Monday night for a while, so I am so pumped. It's back, baby. I've been waiting all day for. Oh, wait, that's Sunday night. But yes, so, and I can't sing, which is why I do sports. Let's talk about it. Okay, the Minnesota Vikings are going to be traveling to the Chicago Bears. This is one of the best. I love these matchups. And the Bears right now are getting 1.5 points at home. I love this matchup so much because these young quarterbacks going against each other, to me, is more fun sometimes than watching the veterans, because this is when you have your shot. Because even though both of them are second-year starts, they both haven't had a chance to replay. J.J. McCarthy was injured last year, so this will be his first career start as a starting quarterback. What do you think? Who are you liking in this matchup?
Yeah, I think I like the Vikings, and it's really interesting what you said about McCarthy, because he was who I wanted to pick out of this game on my side of things, because like you said, out all of last year, didn't really get to see basically anything of him. And what I'm really curious about is, does this injury year, does it sort of give him that gap year that we've seen be so helpful for quarterbacks like a Patrick Mahomes, to be in there, to be in the room, to watch the game up close? Does he get that benefit, or does he not, because he was hurt? It's not like he was sitting on the sidelines holding the clipboard. So yeah, that's what I really want to watch, just how he handles this occasion. Like you said, Monday night, tricky divisional game. The Bears, for all of their recent struggles, are going to be amped up for opening night. Young quarterback, going to try to get after him, really turn the pressure up a little bit. So yeah, I just really want to see how he can handle it after a year off, basically.
I mean, that's a great point. And also with the new head coach, Ben Johnson, coming from the Lions, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a great game to watch for everything, not even just the new young quarterbacks, watching coaching. I'd love to, see the Bears win at home. I don't know why I love, it's almost like they're always the underdog. And the Vikings had such an incredible season last year with Sam Darnold, who I have never been a firm believer of, by the way. I don't get it. So now with having a new quarterback as a starter for them, they have so many weapons. I mean, I don't know, like Justin Jefferson. I think it's going to be such a close game. It really, I mean, the spread is close for a reason. Yeah. So I've been going back and forth on this one. It has been a little bit of a hard choice for me to pick, but there is something weird about my gut saying that since it's week 1, the Bears could win. It's week 1, strange things have been happening. Travis Kelce gets slapped, and then his, I see it. I see weirdly the Bears just winning this and then losing every other game, just coming out strong and then losing every other game.
Nah, I think, like you said, especially week one, maybe like keep it in control a little bit. Just let DeAndre Swift eat, control the game, put pressure on McCarthy, get a few turnovers. One of those ugly week one games that can go either way. And then, yeah, like you said, probably things get a little out of control after this week. But yeah, it's one of those things about week one is just anything can happen. Who's rusty, who hasn't clicked yet. So yeah, and I think it's definitely one of those games that we'll have to see to believe, no matter what happens.
And so, do you think it's only 1.5 point spread? So you're liking more of the Vikings, right? And you think that they'll cover?
Yes, I think so. I think I'd say similar to what I said with the opening night Eagles game. I think it'll be closer than some people probably think, but I still think it should be comfortable when push comes to shove, based on the talent on the rosters, those sort of things.
Well, this means that you get to say your first spread them then, because if you think the team is favored to win and they're going to cover the spread, then they're going to spread them. So
Oh man,
I
I
know.
love it when they say the name of the show in the show. So I think I gotta say that's a spread 'em then.
Yes, I love that. And I want to go over the over-unders, the totals, because this game is a tricky one. So I also like giving out some player prop bets. I love an anytime touchdown. Like I mentioned, I think Justin Jefferson might have an anytime touchdown. I love those odds. 43.5. Do you think it's going to be a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game?
Ooh, that's one of those ones that if it can get out of hand real quick, I think it'll be little bit under. It'll get close enough to have a little bit of
Oh.
interest around it, but I don't think it's gonna quite make it over the mark.
Okay. I do think it might be a lower scoring game, but I think it's just going to I'm going to go over. I'm going to take the slight over just so we have a little fun little
Of
wager
course.
there. I'm going to say it's probably going to be around like 46 points. So not much over. I don't think it's going to be a huge blowout. I am with you that it's going to come down to just a few points. God, Vegas is always so good at the lines. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like they're pros or something, right?
It's like, right? Who would have thought it? But yeah, I like that. Okay, so is there any of these players that you have on do you play fantasy football? Do you have any on your fantasy football league?
Oh man, that's if you got me last year, I would have been ready to go with you, but I am actually not personally playing this year. But no, like my dad has a team, he and I talk about it all the time. I got a couple of friends who do it. I have some good friends now who are from the UK, things like that I consult on a little bit, but nothing personally for me this year. What about you? Any good names you got to watch from your
Same.
team? Hey, there you
No,
go. Great
same.
minds.
I literally I had to stop with my own fantasy football league because every time Thursday would hit and I hadn't set my own draft because I spent the whole day helping everybody else's lineup. So this year I'm running my friend Ian's with Paramount, and he's on a TV show, and I am currently running his fantasy football league. And then I do my godmother. I help her win because she's the only woman out of
Hey, you got
20,
it.
20. There's 25 men in the league, and I'm like, we're gonna win, girl. We got this. So I helped her pick her games too. So it's fun, And she
Yeah.
actually likes the Bears. Shout out to my gorgeous godmother, Caroline Kimmel. So she wants the Bears in this. So I am. I want to figure out who I'm going to take. So I'm still teetering. You're selling me a bit more now on the Vikings, though. I will say that.
Yeah, like I think it's just the Justin Jefferson factor really does move the needle, and like we said, especially a young quarterback might be feeling the heat a little bit. Who better to throw it to than someone like that?
All right. Well, I'm going to have to give my official lock after I release you, but I will leave you with this one last thing. I would just like to apologize in advance for beating you in your own home next week, because I would just like to say now I'm truly sorry when the Eagles beat the Chiefs in your house. I apologize.
Hey, I appreciate it, and we'll have to see what happens. But no, it should be a fun one. Of the recent years, one Super Bowl in the head-to-heads. I think you guys have won most of the regular seasons. I know we won one in Philly a couple years back, but no, like we said at the jump, you have the two Super Bowl teams from last year playing in week 2. How could we complain about that, right?
I'm so excited for that matchup. We are definitely going to be texting throughout this game. So
Hey, I'm
definitely
ready.
excited. I love it. And everybody stay tuned. I'm going to be giving you my locks and going over the picks that I actually did last week. Were they good? Were they bad? They were mediocre. I'll be real. Stay tuned. Now, before I give you my pick for Monday Night Football, I got to go over what happened last week. It wasn't the best. It is always week 1. Weird stuff happens. So let's go through it. We took the Eagles minus 8.5. Unfortunately, they didn't cover. It was 24-20, thanks to a loogie heard around the world. The Commanders did cover, though. They covered the 6 points against the Giants, so that was a win. The Lions, what happened to the Lions? I took them at plus 2.5, and unfortunately, well, actually, I know what happened to the Lions. Micah Parsons happened to the Lions. So that was a 27-13, and unfortunately, those 2.5 points did not help us. San Francisco 49ers did help us, though. We got a win on that one at minus 2.5. They did cover the spread, so thank you, San Francisco 49ers. The Dolphins, unfortunately, wow. Daniel Jones, you got your name back. You are now back to Danny Dimes in my book because that was an incredible game for the Colts. Unfortunately, the Dolphins only scored 8 points in that game. So those 5-point spread did not help us. And the Texans also, while close and a low, boring scoring game, the Rams took the win there with 14-9 in the end. So we ended up with a 2-4 record, which is not great, and I'm not happy with it. And we are going to do even better next week. I can't wait. I am telling you, you got to come back, and you're going to have to tune in. And I'm going to be definitely. We're going all in next week. It is our week. I will tell you that right now. So with that, we got to give you the pick for Monday Night Football. Okay. I'm so glad because to be honest with you, Monday night for me is a night that I have spent all summer waiting for football, and it is here, and it is such a good matchup, which you heard me speaking earlier with Joe. It is going to be a great division rivalry. We have the Bears that are going to be hosting the Minnesota Vikings, and this is going to be good. And I have been torn. The spread is 1.5 points favoring the Vikings. You know, I really love the over here. It's 43.5, and I actually wanted to combine it with a Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown, which is at plus 135 on DraftKings. And actually, if you total those together and you do a little parlay, which I love me a parlay, it ends up being plus 278. So that to me is my parlay party pick. And I got to pick now. Bears, Vikings. Oh, I'm so torn. I'm going to phone a friend. I'm actually going to phone a friend. I have a very dear friend of mine, Colin Egglesfield. He is a diehard Bears fan, and I got to get his advice. I got to help. I need some help on this. I need to know from a true Bears fan if they're going to win this game at home. So I hope he picks up. Please, I'm phoning a friend.
Hello.
Hi, Colin. How are you?
Hi, Ash. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, I have a little birthday present I need you to give me. I'm dying here. I don't know to take the Bears or the Vikings. I've been torn all day going back and forth. I need to know from a true Bears fan, are you going to pull the win out and at home? I mean, I need to know. It's 1.5 points they're getting. It's basically a toss-up. So what do you think? Can the Bears win this?
Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, so it's at Chicago. Okay, so home field advantage. However, the Bears perennially suck on Monday Night Football. However, J.J. McCarthy is making his first start for the Vikings. Right. So, he's unproven. And with Ben Johnson being the new coach of the Bears, and I feel like he's going to pull out some trickery and some magic to pull this one off for the Bears. I'm feeling good about all the momentum they've built up with Caleb Williams and their new offense. And the only drawback, though, is that our quarterbacks are a little injured. Jalen Johnson is questionable. Kyler Gordon is questionable. So, if anything, that might be our weak point, but I'm gonna take the Bears.
It's week 1, and I'm with you. I have this weird feeling like the Bears could just win this one, and then lose every other game the rest of the season. But I have this weird feeling like the Bears could just win this one. It's week 1. Weird things always happen week 1. So I am kind of with you on that. I've been bouncing back and forth. Like, in theory, I think the Vikings should win and could win. But for some reason, I get this gut in my feeling, and sometimes you just need to go with your gut. So I had to ask you. I'm so happy. Okay, so we're going. We're doing it, guys. Colin Egglesfield and I are going to be taking the Bears at plus 1.5 points. So, yeah, thank you, Colin. Thanks for phoning. Thanks. We'll have to get you in here soon. So thank you, Colin.
We love it. All right.
Bye. Go Bears. Da Bears. Well, with that, okay, so I'm going to take the Bears at plus 1.5 points, and hopefully I can add another win to my locks of the week. And don't forget to tune in Thursday so you can watch all my predictions for week 2. So tune in, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Like, comment. I want to hear everything you guys have to say. And I cannot wait to see you next week for week 2. It's NFL, baby. Monday Night Football. Let's go.
The money keep calling my name.